Hi guys, and welcome to Hidden Treasures episode 4. Wow, episode 4 already, and today's one's a little bit of a weird one actually, because even though the product I'm going to speak about is very old, it's actually been re-released, so it's something that you can get your hands on now. It's been re-released in a different way as well, which I'll explain in a moment. But just to let you know a little bit of the background to this effect, this is an Alakazam product, and occasionally I will be speaking about Alakazam products because we have got such a strong back catalogue that it wouldn't be fair not to include them in this video series. Quite a few years ago, I remember attending, it was the International Magic Convention in London, and I think Alakazam Magic was sort of in its infancy, so we hadn't been going that long. And it was at this convention that I bumped into Andy Nyman. I saw him perform a lecture, which I thought was absolutely amazing, really entertaining. And later on that evening, he was part of a late night show. It was the first time I saw him perform the Sophie trick, which I absolutely adored. I thought it was incredible, one of the best bits of mentalism I'd seen. And also there was another couple of routines he did that I absolutely fell in love with. Now, after this meeting, me and Andy become friends. I'm glad to say he's still a friend to this date. And Andy had already had a couple of tricks out. He had Killer Elite, it was just called Killer Elite at that stage. It won Trick of the Year, brilliant effect. And he had a peak device called the Pro Folio. Now, I made a deal with Andy to purchase the rights to Killer Elite. Later, we bought it out as Killer Elite Pro, which was shrunk down a little bit, all with a nice little wallet, rather than the big postcards that Andy used, which was, in my opinion, more sort of set towards a parlour type performance. Now, I remember speaking to Andy and suggesting maybe he does a DVD. And this was a conversation that went back and forth for quite a while actually, because magicians being on video, being on DVD wasn't a huge thing back then. I mean, DVDs to produce were quite expensive. It was quite a new technology for us magicians with a relatively small market to start getting into. And the only people that were really doing it were the big companies like L1L Publishing or maybe even A1 Multimedia at the time. Andy agreed to do the DVD, which was an absolute pleasure for me, music to my ears. And I remember we had a cameraman called Rob, who also done the DVD editing at the time. Me, Rob, Aid Gower from Monster Creations, who has basically been part of Alakazam since we started. We all descended on London. We went to Soho House, where Andy was a member, being an actor and all. And we filmed it in their little screening theatre, which was great. And it was like a bit of a who's who of magicians and mentalists. You had Mark Paul in the audience. In fact, Mark Paul done the interview for the Get Nyman set of DVDs, which is what we were filming that night. Darren Brown was in the audience, Pete Furman. I think Ali Cook was there. So there was quite a few people there. And Andy did a show. So he did a full show. The show went brilliantly. He had structured it great. But during that evening, there was a trick that I saw that I thought, wow, I love it. Absolutely love it. I love the simplicity of it. I love the impact of it. I love the presentation of it. I love the storyline that Andy's put to it. I mean, the great thing about Andy Nyman is not only what he comes up with, not only the technical aspects of the trick, not only the mechanics of the trick, but to me, it's the presentation, it's the scripting, it's the lines. That's what Andy does so well. And that's why people like Darren Brown still uses Andy, because Andy has a way. I've always said this, whenever I go and see Andy, if he's ever behind a dealer stand, and he does sometimes still do that, sometimes he'll jump behind our stand, Alakazam at Blackpool. And whenever you see him perform, he'll just introduce himself to you, he'll start chatting. Before you know it, he's condemning something to you, but you don't know it's actually changed from the chat to a dem. It will be like when he bought out Dice Man. Once again, we own the rights to that. But when he bought that out, he used to, I remember people going up to him and, hi Andy, oh, hi John, how you doing? Oh, I'm great, how's the wife? Yeah, great, how the kids? Yeah, great. Do you know what, John? I've stopped making decisions. Really, Andy? Yeah, bang, straight into the routine. And he's just got a way about him that's so likeable and so good. But this trick in question was a trick that we released. I begged Andy to sell me the rights to it after the DVD was released. He agreed, we bought the rights, and the effect is called the Hidden. Now the Hidden is great because it can be performed close up. It can be performed parlour. You can perform it on one person. You can perform it on 3 people. You can have a brilliant kicker ending, or you could use it with a regular deck, so you can continue to use the deck after the effect has played out. Now, usually on Hidden Treasures, you know that I will perform the effect for you, but I do have a performance of Andy doing it, and I think you would most probably prefer to see Andy do it than me. And I know I would, because whenever I watch Andy perform, I just sit there in awe. I just think he's great. So the video you're going to see now is the Hidden, taken from Get Nyman. So take a look at this, and then I'll tell you about the Hidden Universal.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice to see you all in the glamorous West End of London. One of the questions I get asked a lot when I perform magic is, how as a magician do you first become dexterous? So I'm going to show you an exercise that I developed for myself. I have no idea if magicians other than myself do this. If they do, what name they give it. But this is a thing that I've always called dead cutting. The idea was this: to increase the sensitivity and to become aware of what a deck of cards feels like, I decided that I'd like to be able to cut to any number of cards. So if I wanted to cut to 3 cards, I'd sit in front of the TV and I'd, no, that's 4, 5. As soon as I hit 3, I'd muscle memory what that feels like, and then I'd do it again. And keep doing it until I could do it again and again and again. Then I'd do 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so on and so on. Set myself certain parameters. If I wanted to cut a tricky number like 12, I wasn't allowed to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, I couldn't do that. I'd literally just have to reach over, take what felt like 12, and be done with it like that. So let me just check. Like that. Okay, so that would be 12. And thank you. Very, very kind of you to applaud, because that's really dull to watch, and I'm aware of that. But I thought that I'd give you a go, let you see what this feels like. So, do you have a coin on you? Yeah. Great. Take a coin, pop it on the table for me. And do you wear a watch? Great, if you would pop that there. And do you have a wallet? I do. Fantastic. If you take your wallet out, that would be great. Very delicate watch. Coin, great, just there. And your wallet, good and fat, pop it just there. Excellent. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You are going to cut what feels like 10 cards. Don't think or count, just do it. 10, cut them off, put them right down there. Okay, that is a little bit heavy, a little heavy, all right? So what I want you to do is to do 12 cards. Confidently, like this gentleman just did it, but 12 cards. Don't think or count, just do it. Reach over, boof, take what feels like 12 cards, put them right down there by your watch. Clearly nowhere near 12, but that's okay. But that's a little bit, forgive me for saying this, a little bit girly. You kind of tiptoed over to it like that. So please, sir, not girly. What I need you to do is 15 cards, okay? You can slide these over. Do not think, don't count, just do it. 15, cut them off, put them by your wallet just there. Now. Put them straight down. Very good, very confident. Excellent. Okay, so I'll stop lying to you. I have absolutely no interest in sleight of hand magic. I do not do sleight of hand magic. What you're going to see tonight is not sleight of hand magic. What I am interested in is psychological bullying. And that's what I do. Okay, let me explain. I came out and I showed you that I did this skill, dead cutting. Never done that before in my life. It's something I made up when I was chatting to you as I started. I said I was going to cut 12 cards. It was fluke that I hit those 12 cards. No one was more pleased than me, all right? But what it did was it made you a little edgy that you were now going to do it. I borrowed the coin, the wallet, the watch. I told you to cut 10 cards. Reached over, you cut them. I reprimanded you slightly, said, yeah, it's not great. Increases the pressure on you, already nervous. Came over here, I asked you to do 12 cards. You reached over, you took not a good cut. Again, I increased the pressure to you. And each time I do this, I ask you to do 15. What happens is this, you focus on the numbers. And what it stops you doing is focusing on what I'm really doing. And what I'm really doing is the way that I talk to you, the way that I stand, the way that I look at you, is to just jab you psychologically to make you cut exactly where I want you to cut. Let me show you. I'm going to take your card, put it just there. I'm going to take your card, put it just there. I'm going to take your card, put it just there. If I would have made you cut, one card more, one card less, you would have done what I call drawing a blank. Show you what I mean. Over here, by the coin, one more, blank. These cards, blank. The ones from the top you didn't want, they're all blank. Over here by your watch, blank. Over here by your wallet, all blank. And yet the cards I made you cut to, this one says coin, that one says watch, and that one says wallet. Thank you very much.
How cool is that? Absolutely incredible. No rough and smooth, no Svengali deck, no sticky cards. It's just amazing. It's a great trick, but I think you'll agree with me, the whole storyline, the whole patter, you really buy into this effect. And before they even know something's happening, you've just knocked them out with that reveal. Now, like I said, you can do it one of two ways. You can do it with a blank deck ending, which is my preferred version, to be fair. But I did used to perform this table hopping, and I used to include it in a regular deck. So I would get them to cut the regular deck, and then they would end up with their cards, but then I could put the cards in my top pocket and then continue with the regular deck to carry on my act. And it works really, really well. But this is it. This is the new version. This is called the Hidden Universal. Now, if you want more information, I'm going to give you more information now, but if you want to pick one up, you can do so by clicking that little information button just up there. So, what is the Hidden Universal? When we first released the Hidden, it came like this. It came with the 3 cards, which said coin, wallet, and watch. This is the only way it's ever been available with words on the cards. Now, we got, I can't even count or tell you how many emails we've had since this has been released in its original form, the Hidden, asking if we were going to do it in different languages, if we were going to do it any other way. And I always said, unfortunately not, this is the way it is. And then about a year or so ago, we were sitting there talking, and I just said, why have we never done it with pictures? That way, it covers everyone. So this is the Hidden Universal. The other thing as well I'd like to point out is a lot of people nowadays don't wear a watch because it's on your mobile phone. So a lot of the younger people don't really wear watches. A lot of people don't carry wallets, but most people have a coin. But I still carry a wallet. I still wear a watch, and I've always got a coin. So this will work fine for me, but I know a lot of people don't now. So what we've done is we have now got images on cards, okay, which makes these totally universal. So anyone, any language can perform this. And we've given you a few bonus ones to include things that people will have on them today. So it's like an updated version. So we have keys, we have phone, we have cash, so notes, coins, whatever. We have credit cards, and we have drink. Okay, so if you're performing it in the bar, you can even use drink as one of them. And the other thing is as well, it now comes, for the first time, it comes with video instructions. And we teach an extra 4th phase because there are a set of cards that gets put aside at the end. So we teach you a 4th phase that as an afterthought, you could go, oh, hang on a minute, and these cards you didn't want, but they're near the drink, boom, and then you've got the drink on top. So this is the Hidden Universal. It's actually officially released later on this week, but for those of you that are watching Hidden Treasures, you can pick one up now by hitting that button up there. Now also have a look when you're looking at the products, because there'll be a little drop down menu. Now if you purchase the hidden universal version from Alakazam USA or Alakazam UK, you can add a set of the word cards for only £5. Okay, so check them out, because you can add these at a very, very special price, and then you'll be covered no matter what version you want to do. So that's it. That's Hidden Treasures for this week. Please remember, if you can and you haven't done already, please hit that subscribe button down there. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget to press the thumbs up button and leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking of this series, whether you're enjoying it. I'm really loving introducing you guys to some effects that maybe you haven't seen before, because old effects really give me a kick. When I see someone doing old effects, it just brings back so many good memories of the first time I saw it. And there's so many good things out there. The comments I've been having are either people have bought the trick and it's in their drawer and this has inspired them to get it out, or alternatively, people have never seen the trick before and they said, well, where was I when this came out? So I hope it's inspiring you to look at some older magic, maybe go back into your dead magic drawer and find these things and breathe new life into them, because they really are fantastic. And also, if there's any routines that you think I should bring onto Hidden Treasures, leave a little comment down below and let me have a look, and maybe I'll introduce some of those to future episodes. Anyway guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for supporting Alakazam Magics as well. It really means the world to all of us. So I will see you next time right here on Hidden Treasures.